Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Supra Chat with Anne. Today, we are with Group 7 of the Miss Supranational 2021. I am your host, Antonia Porceld, Miss Supranational 2019. So let's get started with a brief introduction from our Group 7 contestants, starting with Miss Ghana.
Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you all. It's a privilege. My name is Veronica Edunti, and I'm Miss Supranational Ghana 2020-2021.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ghana. Next, we have Miss Namibia.
Hi everyone, hi Anne, and hi all the lovely ladies. I'm Shanique Rather, proudly representing Namibia. I have a BA Honours degree in fashion, and I currently have a small clothing brand, and I run 2 junior sewing schools.
Thank you, Miss Namibia. Next, we have Miss Philippines.
Hello, everyone. Mabuhay. I'm Dendi Pajares. I'm 28 years old, and I am an international flight attendant in my country for almost 8 years. I am also part of the Philippine Air Force Reserve Command. So I am a military reservist. So I'm helping our community right now because, yes, we're in the middle of pandemic, and I am also an advocate of inclusion and diversity.
Thank you, Miss Philippines. Next, we have Miss Romania.
Hello, hi girls, good morning. My name is Michela Ciornea. I'm 25 years old. I'm a resident doctor in dermatology, and I'm proudly representing Romania.
Thank you, Miss Romania. Next, we have Miss Sweden.
Hi girls, hi Anne, and Dzień dobry Poland. I am Miss Sweden, and I am a store manager. I run 2 stores here in Sweden. On my free time, I do modeling jobs, and I spend a lot of time at the gym and in the stables. I'm a horseback rider, and I am really looking forward to meeting all of you sisters and the supranational team in Poland. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sweden. Next, we have Miss Thailand.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Antonia and all the girls. So I am Queenie Benjarat Akaravnis in AB, Miss Supranational 2021 from Thailand. And I would like to say that I'm really excited to meet all of the girls and also a lot of activities that I heard that we are about to do. I have the background in public relations and advertisement, and I run 2 projects working with a community charity project called Bangkok Charity Soldiers and Mood Sharing. So I share my love through music and helping everyone to feel positive and happy through songs. Thank you.
Next, we have Miss England.
Hello everyone, hello Anne, hello ladies. My name is Sophie Marie Dunning and I'm representing my country of England. I'm a women's self-defense instructor and I run female and fearless projects in my country to help other women to not only escape but also rebuild their lives after emotional, financial and physical abuse.
Thank you, Miss England. And next we have Miss Rwanda.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. My name is Anita Umuratwa, Miss Supranational Rwanda 2021, and I'm 21 years old. I'm a student in university. I do information management, majoring in IT and minoring in information management. My project is all about raising malnutrition awareness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Rwanda. And here you have the Group 7 contestants for the Miss Supranational 2021 competition. So let's get started with the questions, starting with Miss Ghana. Your first question is, what is something you needed as a young girl that you hope to see established?
Growing up, I had always seen men dominated in so many aspects of life. from a village where I come from, known as Kokofu, Sebedia in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Women were always speculated as people that needed to be in the kitchen and didn't really have to be in a world where they could actually dominate and then actually be leaders in fields they could actually really yield much results. But looking at now, girls are able to work towards their dreams. And then there's a whole change of mentality on what girls can and what they cannot do, what women can and cannot do. These things have been redefined, and it's actually a positive change, because when I go back now, there's so many things that these women are able to do now and actually are raising bars, coming up and leading in the field of agriculture, where I'm coming from. And it is really something positive, and I'm actually really happy to see such a change in the society.
Thank you, Miss Ghana. Next, we have Miss Namibia. Your first question is, what is a lesson that adults can learn from children and vice versa?
Thanks, Anne. Something that I always see in children is the fact that they have unconditional joy. They go into life every day, they enjoy every minute, they play around, and they have no regrets. And I think as adults, that's something we should take from children, to take every day as a new day, but it could also be your last. Enjoy every second and make the most of every moment.
Thank you, Miss Namibia. Next, we have Miss Philippines. Your first question is, what do you want to be remembered as?
I want to be remembered as someone who never give up. I tried so many times just to get the Miss Supranational crown. I failed twice getting my dream crown, which is the Miss Supranational crown, but here I am right now. I am representing my country. So I want people to remember me that, yes, I failed, but it doesn't mean that I am a failure. It only means that I haven't succeeded yet. And now I am living my dream. I am representing my country. I am wearing the sash of Miss Philippines, and I'm just so grateful and I'm so blessed. And I'm really excited to meet my Supra family.
Thank you, Miss Philippines, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Off. Next, we have Miss Romania. Your first question is, do you think social media has made a positive or negative impact on society?
Thank you for the question. I think it's maybe a little bit of both. I think it's a great platform to express our feelings, our beliefs, our projects, and everything we are as human beings. But I also think it could be very dangerous for children and for people who don't know how to filter the information and how to really say which thing is true and which is a lie, because we always post the best version of ourselves. And I would like people to know that no one is perfect. We all have flaws and we all have good days and bad days. And remember that not everything we see is true. And beauty and being a real human being is not about perfection, but embracing flaws and every single thing that we are not, more than everything that we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Romania. Next, we have Miss Rwanda. Your first question is, why is it relevant to have a beauty pageant despite the COVID-19 pandemic right now?
Thank you so much. I think it is so important to have the beauty pageant going on, because still we the contestants can give solutions, and we can work on helping the government and different countries avoiding this COVID-19, and we still have so many things to achieve despite of the COVID-19 going on. So we still have things we can do, and I think this pageant is a great way or a great platform to get it through, to get to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rwanda. Next, we have Miss Sweden. Your first question is, what are your thoughts on protests for change?
Good question. Thank you so much, Antonia. There was a really good demonstration going on in Poland, actually. Strajk Kobiet. And this one is really good. And even though that one actually ended during the COVID situation, they felt that they needed to stand up for equalities for women in Poland, that they could choose what to do with their own bodies. And that one really touched me. Like, even though all the men, women, children, if everyone got the COVID or got sick, even though it was during a pandemic, they did do it. And that is really loyal and strong. And I think that when there's a really huge issue going on inside a country, like for instance, Poland, they do have a lot of problems with equalities for women, and they are really divided. Politically, it's 50-50 in the country. And I think that they really did pick that good reason to go out there and make their point. But there is also demonstrations going on that are really dangerous and not necessarily. So I think that, yeah, you need to pick your battles and pick the right ones. So yeah, I think it's a 50-50 question, but I'm for it. Thank you, Antonia.
Thank you, Miss Sweden. Next, we have Miss Thailand. Your first question is, if you were to give a speech in front of the leader of your country today, what would be your message?
Thank you. It would be that we need to be concerned of our citizen health. That's our first priority that we need to do right now. And would be much appreciated if they could get the vaccine for all of us that has high qualities, as well as able to have in the volumes that be able to inject to all the citizens. Because for me, seeing death and seeing all the pain is not what we want. COVID is affected all of us in a way with our financial but more importantly is our health. So that's my first priority that I beg, if you could, please find a way to cure this problem for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Thailand. And next we have Miss England. Your first question is, what can individuals do to improve the quality of education in third world countries?
Thank you for the question. I think when we look at the discrepancies and the inequalities between the Western world and third world countries, the disparities are so mammoth, they're so big, and there's so many different levels where education in these countries needs to be improved. One thing which I do believe runs through every single country in the world, though, is something which I would like to see in the world, which is the encouragement of child self-defense to be included within all national curriculums. This is something which I believe would be easy to roll out because we're not constricted by each nation's individual curriculums academically. It's something which would be extracurricular, after-school activities, but funded by each government. So it's so vital and important that people in power, no matter what country you're in, use your voice to implement change in a way which will positively impact the lives of these children. And all children deserve to be protected. So that's one thing which I want all individuals to encourage, no matter what their position in the government, or as one of my Supra sisters was just saying, a peaceful protest. These sorts of things really do ignite change. So that's where I'd start.
Thank you, Miss England. And that was it for the first round of questions. And it was very inspirational to hear from all of you. So thank you very much for all your answers. And I hope you're a bit more relaxed now, a little bit not so tense. It's just another way for the fans to get to know you better and just have a space where your message can be heard. Because when we're in supranational, you know, it's all about the glitz and the glam and the heels, and people just tend to forget that we are not just there for the beauty part of it, but we also have a message that we want to send as well. Okay, so let's get started with the second round of questions. Going back to Miss Ghana. Your second question is, elaborate on the term, words can kill people.
Thank you very much for the question. We live in a world where everything is basically done through social media. Our businesses, we promote on social media. Every aspect of our life is being basically on social media. People take advantage of social media through cyberbullying, basically discouraging people through words, harsh words, and making them feel so bad of themselves, how inappropriate they are, how inadequate they are as well. And this is really bad because at the end of the day, it does affect the person's mental health. And our mental health is really important because depression and stress makes us go through a whole lot of things that people do not actually see from the outside, because these are basically emotional related issues that do affect individuals one way or the other. So yes, words do actually kill spirits, because whatever you say either motivates a person, raises a person's spirits up, or brings the person down by totally shattering whatever interest the person basically had. So yes, words do kill a person's spirits in general. So we need to be mindful of what we say, what we do, because they do have negative and positive impact on individuals.
Thank you, Ms. Ghana. And I completely agree. I think that a lot of people, especially online, don't understand or don't see how much their words can affect people. And I think everyone here, especially like everyone in the pageant world, can understand that, you know, people just say all these mean things and they don't know how much it affects us as a human, because we're all just people with feelings, and they think that, oh no, she has to deal with this all the time. But the reality is, it impacts you in such a great way that it can change you from being someone very energetic and high-spirited to someone who is suddenly demotivated to follow their dreams. And I think that what you said is completely right. Thank you. Next, we have Miss Namibia. Your second question is, if you had the power to change one regulation in your country, what would it be and why?
I would change quite a few things, but something that I would put focus on is so that children can learn physical skills, it should be a regulation that should be part of the normal schooling system. I can't do too much about the actual schooling system, but what I can do and what we as a community can do is we can bring in physical life skills for kids to learn outside of the schooling system, even just so that they have a bit more or more tools to go into life, and from how to bank, how to pay taxes, these everyday things people in my country and a lot of third world countries, they don't learn. And I feel like it should be a regulation and it should be a rule and part of the schooling system that kids learn physical life skills which they can use for the rest of their lives.
Thank you, Miss Namibia. And I also agree. I think that, education, especially in like physical education, like you mentioned, children can learn more than just the physical part of it, but how they can grow as individuals as well. And a lot of the issues that happen today with adults stem from how they grew up as children and how their mindset was built. So I think, yes, I agree with you as well. It's a good balance of educational, like the basic education and the standard education that we teach in schools, but also just as important is the physical education as well. So next we have Miss Philippines. Your second question is, everything can be made public, but what should be kept private and why?
Oh, I think that what we should keep in private, it actually our private life, our relationship with our family, our relationship with the people that we love, because right now we have a tendency to share everything on our social media accounts. Whenever we traveling, we want to share it to others, our location, what we are eating, everything, literally everything. And I think you have to put a balance with your public and your private life, and especially when it comes to your family, keep your private life with your family really private, because sometimes other people, they hurt your loved ones. So for you to actually to not to experience that is for you to make an effort to keep your private life, your family life as private as possible.
Thank you, Miss Philippines.
Thank you.
About social media, we love to share everything.
I know,
Food that
super.
probably no one actually cares about, I tend to notice with mine. Next, we have Miss Romania. Your second question is, do you think people with wealth and privilege can talk about poverty and struggle in life? Why or why not?
Well, I think that we should get through an experience, or we should really be in the moment to know and to understand 100% something. But I think that very empathetic people that really feel everyone else's energy could feel how a person who's not that privileged could feel. But I think that it depends on the kind of person you are, on your personal experience, on how you relate with other people and so on. But I think that, yes, it's possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Romania. Next, we have Miss Rwanda. Your second question is, there is a large percentage of people and ethnic groups being targeted in hate crimes. What is your message to the people that have become victim to this?
Thank you so much for the question. I think people should know that there are enough themselves, enough alone, and they should know that they are worthy and lovable. So if people are going through this, I would say that we have to face it all, but still not everyone hates you, and you're capable and you can still do everything you have to do despite all the hate and bad things you get from people. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rwanda. Next, we have Miss Sweden. Your second question is, what does it mean to be a beauty queen?
Thank you for the question, Antonia. It's a really nice question. And I think that it's a privilege to be a beauty queen, to be able to represent your country. But most importantly, I feel that this is a job. This is like any other job interview. We apply to be able to work with the supranational team to really get our points and our set of views to really be able to work with something that we are really passionate about. So it's not only that it's a beauty pageant and that we stroll around in beautiful gowns and be sparkling and everything like that, and that we'll be able to make friends for life and that it's a good experience, but it's the perfect platform to reach out, to work with an amazing team for 1 year, for you for 2 years. And that is the real privilege. And that is why I'm hoping to inspire other people to apply from my country next year after me. Yeah, that's the really beauty of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sweden. Next, we have Miss Thailand. Your second question is, during the time of COVID-19, what have you done to help your community as an individual and as a beauty queen?
Thank you for the question. So 3 years ago, before COVID, I already started my project working with the children, teaching them music, but in order music to heal them as the music therapy session. And then during COVID, we got stuck like, what shall we do? Because I have my teams and we were ready to help the community, but then there were restrictions that we couldn't communicate or create a workshop. So then we decided to do something different. So we gather money and then come up with this project on site again, which is called Community Kitchen. So we were giving away food. And once the COVID situation were a little bit better in Thailand, it was like the second wave, then we were able to host the workshops. At that time, I was doing multiple workshops based on what I'm passionate about, which is music. So I was teaching singing, piano, guitar, ukulele, and lots of people that join me, they also have their expertise in different stuff. So I encourage them to host the workshops to the orphanage as well. So then the kids were able to see that they can become whoever they want in the future by doing the things they love. And once you choose the thing you love, you can then create much more positiveness in the society. So that was, I was doing with my friends and the expert in Bangkok, and yes, with the kids.
Thank you, Miss Thailand. And last but not least, I think the viewers are gonna laugh at me because I always say this, Miss England. Your second question is, what is the role of a beauty queen in a country that lacks unity?
I think every country can lack unity in some way or some form. Just taking my country, for example, so England, it doesn't have a huge pageant following at the moment, but I believe a beauty queen's role is in her voice. It's in the way she speaks. It's in her communication with people. And to be able to relate to other people clearly, authentically, and with commitment, in your words, in what you're speaking about, in your passion. I think that's what unites people. So it doesn't really matter where we're from or what our platforms are. They're all valid, they're all important, and we should all have the confidence to express what we believe in. And I think that's really what pageantry does for women. A lot of people sort of criticize pageantry as being anti-feminist, but I believe it's the opposite. I think it's one of the very few industries that completely celebrates women. And that in itself is such a precious unity, which is lacking in so many other areas in the world.
Thank you, Miss England. And that is our last question for this Supra Chat with Anne. Thank you so much, ladies. You guys are a group of very beautifully talented, aspirational and inspirational women. And I can't wait to hear more about your stories and your journey. And thank you for sharing that with me, as well as the viewers. So thank you, viewers, for your questions. And don't forget to download the Miss Supranational app on your phone to vote for your favorite Miss Supranational 2021 contestant. Thank you so much, ladies, and I'm looking forward to see all of you very soon. Have an amazing day or evening or morning. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.